Fans are cheering on the men's hockey team on the ice at the Winter Games in Milano Cortina.
And there's going to be road closures and transit delays in North York tomorrow, where massive crowds are expected to gather for a rally in support of protesters in Iran.
A reversal from the premier, who is now saying that Crown Royal will stay on the shelves at the LCBO. We're going to explain that just ahead.
And we are in it for love, right, Liz?
Oh, heck yeah.
We're going to tell you all the things you can do this Valentine's Day long weekend in the city.
This is Live at 5. Hi, everybody. I'm Liz West.
I'm Bakari Savage. Welcome to Live at 5. There's going to be road closures and transit delays in North York tomorrow because massive crowds are expected to gather for a rally in support of protesters in Iran. Let's go live to CP24's Melissa Duggan for this. Melissa.
Hey there, Bakari and Liz. Yes, so traffic delays, transit delays could be extreme. That's the word that Toronto police are using to describe what is coming down to North York, where I am tomorrow. That's because there is a march and rally planned. A global day of action for Iran is what it's in support of. There are some estimates the crowd could be as much as 200,000 people strong. So with that massive crowd, there is some advice going out to the public. Listen, if you just happen to be in the area, North York on Saturday, maybe you're going to do some shopping or something like that, you might want to wait until Sunday to do it. Traffic is going to be at a standstill in some areas. Road closures are going to be in place. Parking, that's also going to be difficult. And there are also going to be different measures taken by the TTC to help keep people moving. We're getting more from Toronto police about what you can expect.
It's scheduled to begin at Yonge and Steeles, just on Yonge, south of Steeles, and it's going to go for about 4 kilometers southbound on Yonge Street, ending at North York Boulevard. So that's the route. It's approximately 4 kilometers, and the main closures will be in effect from 11 a.m. To 6 p.m. But road closures and parking restrictions will begin as early as 8 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Yes, so that's Yonge Street from Steeles to Shepherd. You can anticipate those closures to be in effect. You know, we have seen some very massive Iranian protests, march, rallies that have been held in recent weeks, really since the new year, different places across the region. Think Richmond Hill, downtown Toronto, one of the most recent ones. And now we're looking ahead to tomorrow, North York being the area where this is going to happen. And as you heard there, not only are streets going to be closed down, traffic, or rather parking, is going to be off limits for a big stretch of this area. So be prepared if you are expected to be in the North York area to plan ahead, expect those big crowds. And as for people who are attending this massive rally, of course, how are you going to get here? Well, plan ahead for that as well, because parking, that's going to be tough to do. You are encouraged to take the TTC and be prepared for different directions being given during that time, too. TTC staff are going to be on hand. Back to you, Liz and Bakari.
Okay, live in North York, CP24's Melissa Duggan.
And that's tomorrow. Let's find out how the commute's going today with CP24 traffic specialists Adjoa and Saya Yeboah. Adjoa, how's it looking?
Very slow, Liz. Very busy. We have so many problems happening. And if you're headed out on the QEW and you're making your way on the Niagara-bound side, long-standing collision that's been there for over 2 hours, collision involving a transport. They're just hooking up this last vehicle. Once it's off the highway, that lane will reopen. Then on the Toronto-bound side, stalled vehicle eastbound on the QEW, just as you head past the West Mall in the right lane. Fantastic news for drivers coming through Mississauga. Had a serious collision that was blocking the HOV and left lane through Erin Mills. It cleared. Still have problems on the 401 westbound through Port Union. Right lane of the collectors, left lane of the exit ramp blocked with this collision. Further west on the 401, we have that stalled transport in the express past the 400 in the left lane. Also problems in the left lane on the eastbound lanes of the 401 in the collectors at here, Ontario. And one other issue, this happening on the eastbound 401. It's on the exit ramp that takes you to Brock Street in Whitby. Left lane blocked with that collision. Actually missed a problem outside of camera view. Westbound 401 at Thixon, crews on scene of a collision blocking the center lane.
This CP24 traffic report is brought to you by 407 ETR. Enjoy the journey with a stress-free commute.
I'm going to send it over now to Samantha TC at the TTC Transit Control Center. Samantha, good afternoon. Just checking in to see what's going on TTC. Anything commuters should be aware of?
Still in the training car?
Thanks so much, Adjoa. So things are moving well underground on all of our subway lines.
with no delays reported. Also, things are going well along our lines 5 and 6. Now, turning over to our streetcar service, Toronto Water is on scene at the intersection of Broadview and Dundas, working on a water main break in that intersection. So this is impacting our 505 Dundas streetcars. Streetcars are detouring using Gerrard and Parliament Street back to the regular routing along Dundas. But if you are traveling in the area, we got you covered with shuttle buses, and those are running from the Broadview station all the way to Dundas and Jarvis Street. Now, looking at bus service in the west end of the city, at our Keele station, the bus bay is closed because of construction going on there. So if you do travel and usually take a bus from Keele station, if you wait just outside the station, you'll be able to grab your bus right on Keele Street. Now, this closure will be in effect up until Wednesday, February the 18th. Now, that's it from us at Transit Control. Sending it back to you, Bakari and Liz in the newsroom.
Thanks, Samantha. 3 days after her budget was given the green light by City Council, Mayor Olivia Chow stopped by CP24, and we asked her about dipping into the reserve fund to keep the property tax increase relatively low compared to previous years.
We still have $10 billion in reserve funds. It's huge. I've come from an immigrant family. We save. There's always rainy days, right? Even though my mom and dad, working class, didn't have much. There's always money left in the bank. I would always do that. So we are contributing a huge amount, even today, to reserves, and we will continue to do that. But then there are reserves that we've put aside in the last 2 years that we're using, the FIFA reserve funds. And a few years ago, we put aside money because there are policing costs and there are different kind of costs that we need snow removal. We put, we didn't even have to dip into that reserve fund.
The election year budget includes a 2.2% property tax increase, and that's the lowest of Chow's term. She still has not said if she's going to run again.
One person was sent to hospital. This is after chemical fumes filled part of an Etobicoke business. Toronto Fire hazmat teams, they were on the scene. This is at the building on Jutland Road near Islington Avenue just before 2 o'clock this afternoon. The building was evacuated and paramedics checked 2 workers. One was taken to hospital with moderate injuries.
A boy who was missing in Scarborough for nearly a full day has been found safe. A command post was set up near a Danforth and pharmacy in the search for the 12-year-old. He'd been reported missing yesterday afternoon around 3:20 and was located just shy of 24 hours later. Police say he is in good health.
It's 5:07, -1, feeling more like -6. This is Live at 5.
And just ahead, we're going to tell you all the things you can do in the city for Valentine's Day. There are plenty of ways to celebrate Valentine's Day across the city this weekend, and CP24's Arda Zakarian joins us now to tell us about some of those ideas. Arda?
Yeah, there's so many free things in the city to do. Basically, all you need to do is get a little bit creative, put on some skates, and go skating at the many skate rinks. Those are free, and they have some romantic music as well to go along with the skating. There's at the Well, and there's skating at the Harbourfront Centre. They actually have a DJ coming in the evening. But we spoke to the expert, a florist, about what people are looking for on Valentine's Day, and also for those last minute people who haven't put in their order yet, what this means for them.
We do our very best to get the orders in advance so that we're able to prepare properly and have the proper amount of flowers that we need to stay to our personal standards. But yes, we do our very best to just accommodate anyone who can come in last minute.
If you're looking for other activities to do, here's another free one. This is free photo shoot with your dog, the one that gives you all the unconditional love. This is at Barks and Rec, the Canine Clubhouse in Mississauga. They are holding this free photo shoot from 10 a.m. till 12 tomorrow, so you can go to that, or you can go to Sweet City Fest. That's at Stacked Market. They're celebrating all things sweet. The AGO is hosting an afternoon tea. You can indulge in art, some scones and pastries, some sweet and savory delights. lights and then see some of the art as well. So you can also go to a restaurant called Penang Thai. We had a chance to speak with them. They have a three-way experience. This is a masseuse, and then you can also go to the restaurant, and they have a market too. So basically a one-stop shop. Back to you.
Okay.
I'm glad you cleared up what you were talking about there. It's Valentine's Day tomorrow. We have to. What are you going to do?
Dozens of charitable organizations made a pit stop at a warehouse in Concord today to pick up socks to distribute to those in need. The event is called the Big Sock Drop. It's organized by a charity called the Just Socks Foundation. The family-run group says that new socks are one of the most needed items of clothing for charities and shelters. But since they cannot accept used socks, they have to rely on brand new donations.
Socks wear out really fast. There's nowhere to wash them, and so they just throw them out or they just keep wearing them. And so these new socks are kind of a life-saving measure a little bit, and helps give them a little bit of comfort on freezing cold days like we have had in Toronto.
And the group says it's donated more than 1 million socks throughout the years, including 160,000 pairs. That was just last year.
Wow, that's impressive. The Lunar New Year, it's coming up on Tuesday, and over the weekend, celebrations will be held here in Toronto. Mayor Olivia Chow stopped by CP24 Breakfast this morning. She spoke about welcoming the Year of the Horse.
Horse is strong, speedy, get to the goal and delivers. Okay, that's what horse does. I'm a year of the rooster. Okay. You can tell I talk quite a bit, which is why my voice have trouble. It arouses people, so go and get it kind of mentality. So, which brings me to the budget. You talked about the budget.
Absolutely, yeah.
It is really about delivering very fast in the Year of the Horse, more affordability for residents of Toronto.
And fireworks to celebrate the Lunar New Year will be set off at Nathan Phillips Square tomorrow and Sunday night.
Well, a comedy tour that coincides with Black History Month hits Toronto this weekend. Daniel Woodrow is one of 4 comedians on the 14th annual Underground Comedy Railroad Tour, which he also co-founded. It's touted as pioneering the way for Black Canadian comedians to share their unique humor and stories with a wider audience. So the Toronto show also falls on Valentine's weekend, and Woodrow tells CP24 that a good relationship needs laughter.
It's super important. If you're not laughing, you're probably fighting. You know what I mean? Or one of them's laughing at you. But I think it's important, especially I think going to see something like a comedy show or something gives you something to talk about after, see what things you relate on, maybe new topics to talk about. But I think it's very important. I think laughter is one of the most important parts of a relationship.
Well, tickets are on sale now for Sunday's show at Comedy Bar Danforth.
New Brunswick's Courtney Sareau is celebrating her second podium finish of the Winter Games. The 25-year-old won bronze in 500-meter speed skating yesterday after winning silver in the mixed team relay event earlier this week. She spoke today about her success at the Games.
I was kind of gauging the laps, trying to see, okay, which ways can I get around these girls? And the inside with the ice being a little bit softer was pretty hard to hook inside. So I saw that wasn't really working out for me, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to leave everything I have left, and I'm going to try and take it on the outside, which is not the easiest to do in a 500 meter. But I didn't want to leave the ice with any regrets, so I just went for it and gave everything, and it got me some extra bling, so really happy about that.
Disappointment for Rachel Homan's Canadian rink this morning in women's curling. Homan just missed a double in the final end, allowing the U.S. to make a draw for 2 and the 9-8 victory. Canada falls to 1-1 and will be back on the ice tomorrow afternoon up against Switzerland. And for more on the games, we're live to CP24 Sija Liu, who's at the Eaton Centre. Folks are watching today's events. What's got people the most excited?
Well, Liz Bakari, they are watching, but also practicing their skills. Maybe we can do enough practice and qualify for the 2030 Olympics. I'm here inside Eaton Center. There are several activations to get you in the Olympic spirit. This is the hockey activation right now, so we can practice our skills. You can shoot a few pucks, and we have been meeting hockey fans all around. And what was your name again?
My name's Emilio.
Emilio. So we're talking everything about hockey, about the Olympics.
Yeah.
Have you been watching Olympic hockey so far?
Yeah, I have. I watched the Canada men's game yesterday.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
5-0 against Czechia. How are you feeling about them in the Olympics?
I think we have a good chance, but also same with the women's too. We're both pretty strong, so hopefully we can come out with gold.
They're taking on Switzerland right now. They're up 4-1 in the third period, so we're keeping an eye on that game.
Yeah.
How does it feel to watch NHL players in the Olympics for the first time since 2014?
Yeah, it's really good. When I was younger, I never really paid attention, so now I can actually see the skill in international competition.
And who's your favorite player to watch right now?
I'm a goalie, so I'm going to go with Biddington.
Okay, he's been doing good. Okay, well, let's try our hand at this game. If we can just get you to set this game up for us.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got
okay, so which one are we going to be playing here?
We're going to be playing Dodge and Dangle, this one. So we're going to go right here, And you're just going to be trying to dodge the pucks on the ground, okay?
Okay, I'll get you to do this one.
Good luck.
Okay. All right, so he has to dodge these pucks. These are one of the many activations that you get to do here at Eaton Center to get you in the Olympic spirit. Okay, score 6, score 7. How are you feeling so far?
Pretty good. It's cool.
Does this feel like you're training for the Olympics?
Yeah, kinda.
Maybe by 2030 you'll be called up?
Hopefully.
That's the goal, that's the goal. Okay, he has 18, 20, 21. Nice work. Nice work. Good job. Good job. Thank you so much. Well, hey, if you need to get into the Olympic spirit, you can come down here to Eaton Center. They have this hockey activation on the 3rd floor near Simons, but there's also curling and a few other games you can play. But today, when it comes to the Olympics, it is all about curling and hockey, and we are watching Team Canada right now. They are taking on Switzerland, and they have a pretty comfortable lead, Bakari and Liz, up 4-1 in the 3rd period.
Oh, that is good news. Thanks for that update, Sija.
All right, it's 5:18 -1. This is Live at 5.
And the province says Crown Royal will continue to be sold at the LCBO. This after the parent company agreed to make investments right here in Ontario. We'll have more on that just ahead.
Fred Hahn, the president of CUPE Ontario, says that he will not be seeking a renewal at the union's convention in May. Hahn made history as the first openly gay man elected as the union's president in 2010 and has been a mainstay at workers' rallies since. Hahn faced calls to resign in recent years over a controversial social media post that some denounced as anti-Semitic. He was ousted from CUPE's National Executive Board last fall. Hahn announced his decision to move on in a letter to CUPE Ontario members. It reads in part, quote, "Serving as an officer of CUPE Ontario for the past 20 years has been one of the greatest honors of my life. It's been demanding, joyful, exhausting, and profoundly meaningful. Thank you for your trust, your solidarity, and your unwavering belief in collective power."
And the province says Crown Royal will continue to be sold in the LCBO. This after the parent company agreed to make investments in the province. Premier Doug Ford had been threatening to pull the whiskey after Diageo announced it was closing a bottling plant in the Windsor area. Now, the Premier says the company will spend $23 million in the province, and that includes $11 million to buy grain-neutral spirits from the Eastern Ontario and $5 million in Ontario-based marketing and promotion. Diageo says it is pleased Crown Royal will remain on the LCBO shelves.
There are some investments going into the community at Amherstburg, $500,000. Investments around the province to make investments in different aspects of Diageo's business, which will create jobs, net new jobs in Ontario, and a commitment to continue discussions about having a canning plant in Ontario, which we're very encouraged that that conversation continues.
And Windsor West NUP MPP Lisa Gretzky issued a statement that reads in part, a commitment by Diageo for investment in Ontario is a start, but this does nothing for the 200 workers who lost their jobs here. The plant will still be closed. Not a penny of the $23 million will go towards helping these workers feed their families. Only 4% of it is going to our community. Ford has had months to actually fight to save these jobs, but apparently this is the best he has to offer, plunging more families into an uncertain future.
Well, Toys R Us Canada is getting an extended reprieve from the hundreds of companies it owes money to. An Ontario Superior Court judge says she's going to approve an order granting the struggling retailer protection from its creditors until May. And the company had originally only filed for 10 days of protection at the start of the month. And Toys R Us says it owes at least $120 million to its vendors and what it described as substantial amounts to landlords. It's currently restructuring as it faces several lawsuits and has warned its footprint of 22 stores could shrink.
The Liberal government's main budget bill could come up for final vote by the end of the month. MPs agreed to fast-track a committee study of the legislation. They've had until next Thursday at noon to submit proposed amendments and a final report to the House of Commons. That is due February 25th, and debate can begin the next day as Parliament sits. The House can vote on the bill once the debate wraps up. It will also be a vote of confidence for the minority government.
It's 524, -1, feeling more like -6. This is Live at 5.
And Chris Paul has announced his retirement from the NBA. More on this just ahead.
Well, Chris Paul announcing he's retiring from the NBA. This is hours after the Raptors announced that he was being waived. The 40-year-old never suited up for Toronto after being acquired in a deal ahead of the trade deadline. Now, Paul is widely regarded as one of the best point guards in league history, having made 11 All-NBA teams and 9 All-Defense teams in his 21 season. He ranks second in NBA history in assists and steals.
NBA All-Star festivities kick off tonight in L.A. with the Rising Stars tournament, and the Toronto Raptors will be represented in the showcase. Rookie Colin Murray-Boyles is set to play for Team Mello despite missing Toronto's game against the Pistons earlier this week with a thumb injury. Murray-Boyles has averaged 7.9 points and 5 rebounds across 43 games this season. Raptors 905 guard Elijah Martin is also on the Rising Stars roster and will play for Team Austin.
Well, the Blue Jays have completed a trade with the Astros. It's going to see the clubs swap outfielders. So Toronto is sending Joey Loperfido to Houston in exchange for Jesus Sanchez. Loperfido split last season between the Jays and Buffalo Bisons. He put up a .333 batting average and an .879 OPS in 41 Major League games. And Sanchez recorded 14 homers and 48 RBI across 134 games with the Marlins and Astros last year. He's also had 13 stolen bases.
It is 528, -1, feeling like -6. This is Live at 5.
And there's going to be road closures and transit delays in North York tomorrow. This is because massive crowds are expected to gather for a rally in support of protesters in Iran. We're going to have more on this. Fans cheering on the men's hockey team on the ice at the Winter Games in Milano Cortina.
There will be road closures and transit delays in North York tomorrow. That's where massive crowds are expected to gather for a rally in support of protesters in Iran.
A reversal from the premier, who's now saying that Crown Royal will stay on the shelves at the LCBO. We're going to explain just ahead.
And we're in it for love. We'll tell you all the things you can do this Valentine's Day long weekend in the city.
This is Live at 5. Good evening. I'm Bakari Savage.
I'm Liz Weston. Welcome to Live at 5. There will be road closures and transit delays in North York tomorrow. That's where massive crowds are expected to gather for a rally in support of protesters in Iran. Right now, let's go live to CP24's Melissa Duggan, who has the details. Melissa?
Hey there, Liz. Yeah, so I'm in North York right now. This is where the local contingent of this Global Day for Action for Iran will be holding a rally and a march on Saturday. This could be the largest march and rally of its kind that Toronto has seen recently. Other protests have been held in Richmond Hill, downtown Toronto, other areas as well. But this weekend, we are expecting a massive presence here, and that has Toronto police giving everyone the heads up. If you plan on being in this area, plan ahead for tomorrow. There is going to be a total ban on parking along Yonge Street from Steeles to Shepherd. That's between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. The street will also be fully closed to traffic between Steeles and the area where I am right now near Mel Lastman Square from about 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Talking more about just how massive this crowd can be, we're hearing from Constable Stephanie Maselli. Have a listen.
We're just advising the public that they can expect to see a significant police presence in the area to keep everyone safe, manage traffic, and help keep the city moving. And we're letting people know that there's going to be road closures and parking restrictions, and just letting people know if you're in the area to plan ahead and expect delays.
So how big is this crowd going to be? Well, Toronto police estimating we could see some 200,000 participants tomorrow for this march and rally. Again, one of the biggest that the city has seen in recent weeks and months. Toronto police are planning to have not only that presence that the constable mentioned there, but also regular updates on their social media accounts, what you could expect kind of as this march and rally continues throughout the day. So more of an update there you can expect. TTC also could be making some changes to accommodate the crowd. So there might be staff on hand at nearby stations. People are recommended to go to Shepherd Station, by the way. That could be a point of entry for anyone going to this march and rally. So lots to keep in mind, Bakari and Liz, for tomorrow in the North York area because this crowd is expected to be just so big. Back to you.
Melissa Duggan, thanks for that report.
All right, it's 5:33. Let's get a check on the commute with CP24's traffic specialist, Adjo Nsiaya-Boa.
Thank you so much, Bakari. And it continues to be a slow go out there on most of the major area highways, and then in the mix, quite a few problems. So we'll start with problems that I've been watching for a bit. This is the 401 westbound as you head in the express past the 400. It is a stalled transport truck blocking the right lane and shoulder, and the drive to get to that point pretty backed up now from well before Warden. Then on the eastbound lanes of the 401, this is in the collectors just as you make your way past here, Ontario. Long-standing stall in the collectors in the left lane. Then we had a vehicle go into the ditch. It's on the Port Union on-ramp that takes you to the eastbound 401. Vehicle well into the ditch. Tow's just trying to reverse and hook up that vehicle and get it out of the ditch so it's not a hindrance for your commute. And on to the Toronto-bound lanes of the QEW. Just a heads up, we're dealing with this other long-standing stall that does have the right lane blocked. On city streets, crews on scene of a collision blocking lanes on Markham Road and Kingston Road. Going to send it over to Samantha TC at the TTC Transit Control Center. Samantha, anything impacting commuters?
Thanks so much, Adwa. So we are experiencing a delay right now along our line 1 going northbound at our St. Clair station with a mechanical issue. We do have crews dispatched. We're hoping to get that train cleared to continue in service as quickly as possible. On our other underground routes, though, things are shaping up well with no delays on line 2 and 4, and it's smooth sailing also on lines 5 and 6. Now looking at our streetcar routes, Toronto Water is on scene at the intersection of Broadview and Dundas because of a water main break in the area. So they are doing repairs, and with that, it is impacting our 505 Dundas streetcars. So streetcars are detouring using Gerrard and Parliament Street back to its regular routing along Dundas. If you are traveling in the area, though, we got you covered with plenty of shuttle buses that are running from the Broadview station all the way to the intersection of Dundas and Jarvis Street. Now looking at subway service later tonight, we do have a planned subway closure on the portion of line 1 starting at 11 p.m. Between St. Clair West and St. Andrews stations for planned station work. Now, shuttle buses will run in place of subway service, and regular subway service is set to resume tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Now, that's it for us. To stay up to date with the latest, check out ttc.ca. Sending it back to you in the newsroom, Bakari, Liz.
All right, Samantha TC with that update from the TTC.
And 3 days after her budget was given the green light by City Council, Mayor Olivia Chow stopped by CP24. She says she's focusing on building affordable housing.
I was up in Ottawa meeting with the Prime Minister Carney. In fact, I gave him a Chinese New Year card with a house in it. Okay. It's like, please help us build some, help us build some housing. Build it fast. Year of the horse, fast, right? Speed. Yeah. That's what horse is known for. Let's not lose this construction period. We need the jobs. So I made my pitch. I know both levels of government really want to build more housing and build some infrastructure, right? And this is the biggest city in Canada. And people are having a hard time. I think if you work here, you deserve to be able to afford to live here.
This election year budget includes a 2.2% property tax increase, and that is the lowest of Chow's term. She still has not said if she's going to run again.
Okay, one person was sent to hospital after chemical fumes filled part of an Etobicoke business. Toronto Fire hazmat teams, they were on the scene at the building at Jutland Road near Islington. This was just after 2 o'clock this afternoon. So the building was evacuated. Paramedics checked 2 workers. One was taken to hospital with moderate injuries.
New Brunswick's Courtney Saroux is celebrating her second podium finish of these Winter Games. The 25-year-old got a bronze in the 500-meter speed skating yesterday after winning silver in the mixed team relay event earlier this week. It's a good week for her. She spoke today about her success at the Games.
I was kind of gauging the laps, trying to see, okay, which ways can I get around these girls? And the inside with the ice being a little bit softer was pretty hard to hook inside. So I saw that wasn't really working out for me. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave everything I have left and I'm going to try and take it on the outside, which is not the easiest to do in a 500 meter. But I didn't want to leave the ice with any regrets. So I just went for it and gave everything. And it got me some extra bling. So really happy about that.
I bet she is. And for more on the Games, we're going to go live to CP24 Sija Liu, who's at the Eaton Centre. And Sija, are people getting into the Olympic spirit?
Oh, they definitely are. They're not just watching the Games here at Eaton Centre. They are practicing maybe for the 2030 Olympics. So the last half hour, I was playing some hockey, and now we moved over here to the second floor where we are doing some curling. These are all the activations that you can find inside Eaton Centre to get everybody in on the Olympic spirit. And I'm joined by these guys. What are your names?
Hi, my name is Tariq.
My name is Diab.
Ilham.
Jake.
Okay, so we're talking Olympics. Let me ask you first. Have you been keeping up? What's your favorite sport to watch?
Yeah, I've been seeing some things on the news and like on TikTok. We just came from skating actually, so maybe figure skating is my favorite.
Okay, awesome. And what's your favorite part about the Winter Olympics?
Favorite part? I like watching the opening ceremonies, but like I don't keep up with too many winter sports.
Okay, so right now we're about to do some curling. Okay. Are you familiar with curling? What's your strategy?
Okay, so very recently, I've watched a bunch of videos on curling, about the science of curling. I think it's really, really fascinating. So I'm interested.
Okay. Okay, well, this is good timing. Yeah. We'll see if that translates into real life. So we're about to do this curling competition. How do you feel so far?
I'm feeling good. I can skate well, so I know about ice.
Okay. You're pretty Canadian. All right. So we're going to do like a makeshift game right now. We're each going to curl and see who gets closest to the middle. That's how the competition works. So I'll go first. I'm just going to say I've never curled. So we'll see what happens. Oh, okay. Clearly, I didn't go far. All right. It's okay. Okay. It's your turn, guys. Okay. Let's see you go next. Let's see you go next. You're going to try and get to the middle. Clearly use a lot more force than I did. Oh, okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. Your turn. Your turn.
I'll do red or it doesn't matter?
Anyone you want. Okay. So as we're doing this, oh, okay. You know what? At least I'm not the worst one here. All right.
It's all right.
Your turn.
I just wanted to make sure I'll go.
Okay, so he's going to let them go again. But these are the activations you can do here at Eaton Centre. Oh, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Okay.
I think you were the closest one.
Thank you.
Okay. And you were talking a big game. You said you were watching about the science of curling.
Yes. Okay.
So we're expecting some big things.
Okay.
Let's go, Ellen. Let's go. You got this.
All right, watch the form. Oh, that's pretty close. All right.
Okay.
Well, we're running out of time here, so it looks like you won there in the blue. Congratulations. Maybe not too hopeful for 2030, but good news, guys. Canada did win the hockey game against Switzerland, so they are undefeated right now in round robin. Their next game is up against France. But in the meantime, lots to do here at Eaton Centre to get in the Olympic spirit.
Yeah, they won 5-1, Seja, and 5-0. Was it yesterday? So 5 goals seems to be the magic number. Same for the women's hockey team.
Yeah.
Let's just keep going with 5 the entire time.
All right,
It's 541.
Yeah,
There you go.
right. 541 minus 1. This is Live at 5.
Fred Hahn says he won't be staying on as the president of CUPE Ontario. We'll have more on that story just ahead. Fred Hahn, the president of CUPE Ontario, says he'll not be seeking a renewal at the union's convention in May. Hahn made history as the first openly gay man elected as a union's president. That was in 2010, and he's been a mainstay at workers' rallies since. Hahn faced calls to resign in recent years over a controversial social media post that had some denouncing him as anti-Semitic. He was ousted from CUPE's National Executive Board last fall. Hahn announced his decision to move on in a letter to CUPE Ontario members, and it reads in part, "Serving as an officer of CUPE Ontario for the past 20 years has been one of the greatest honors of my life. It has been demanding, joyful, exhausting, and profoundly meaningful. Thank you for your trust, your solidarity, and your unwavering belief in collective power."
The RCMP, they've released a photo that the person who carried out a deadly mass shooting in BC this week after images of an unrelated person appeared online. So police say that this is a confirmed image of 18-year-old Jesse van Rutselaar. They also say that images of another person that were posted online led to false accusations against a person in Ontario. And forensic officers continue to process the scene at Tumbler Ridge Secondary School and at a nearby home. So police are continuing to analyze 2 firearms seized from the school and a shotgun at the home. They're still working to determine the origin of the main firearm used in the school shooting at the school. And autopsies on the 8 victims and the suspect, they're expected to be complete by the end of the weekend. Police say that the 2 surviving victims remain in hospital. Prime Minister Mark Carney and the main federal party, they have arrived in Tumbler Ridge and laid flowers at a memorial. They're going to be attending a vigil in the BC community later today.
And the province says Crown Royal will continue to be sold at the LCBO after its parent company agreed to make investments in Ontario. Premier Doug Ford had been threatening to pull the whiskey after Diageo announced it was closing a bottling plant in the Windsor area. Well, the Premier says the company will spend $23 million in the province. That includes $11 million to buy grain-neutral spirits from Eastern Ontario and $5 million in Ontario-based marketing and promotion. Diageo says it's pleased Crown Royal will remain on the LCBO shelves.
Well, I think it's positive for the consumers who obviously love Crown Royal and the brand. It's positive for our neighbors in Manitoba and Quebec who are part of that chain. And it's positive for the investments that they're making, the $23 million, which otherwise, if Doug Ford, the Premier, did not fight for those jobs, we wouldn't be seeing this $23 million investment today.
And some good news for Ontario's auto industry, especially for hundreds of laid-off Brampton Stellantis workers. The automaker says a third shift is going to be added to its Windsor plant come Tuesday. That means 1,700 jobs will be added. Roughly 250 of those positions will be filled by laid-off workers at the former Brampton Stellantis plant who are making the move. The Brampton facility, it has sat idle since last year when Stellantis moved local production south of the border. Stellantis says the additional shift will accommodate production of Chrysler minivans and 2026 Dodge Chargers. It's 5:47 minus 1. This is Live at 5.
And just ahead, we're going to tell you all the things you can do in the city for Valentine's Day. There are lots of ways to celebrate Valentine's Day across the city this weekend. CP24's Arda Zakarian joins us live now with some really good ideas. Arda?
Yes, you can take a stroll along the Distillery District, Kensington Market, Allen Gardens. Actually, Kensington Market also has a food tour you can take part in with your significant other, walking around the streets, sampling different foods. That one is for a fee. But also, if you're looking for another dining option, Penong Thai has a very interesting couples experience for you. Here's more.
We have a separate menu just for this weekend, just for the couples massage as well. So what you'll see on the menu is typically things that people have loved from coming to Penang Thai. At the same time, we also have some special features. Right now, we have a strawberry teddy bear drink as well. We also have a really nice steak option that's on top of on this menu. So we look forward to serving to everyone.
Some other ways that you can celebrate for free: Sweet City Fest at Stacked Market, celebrating all things sweet with shopping, themed vendor markets, workshops, live music. But you can also enjoy a 4-course meal there at their Speakeasy Whiskey Bar. That's for a fee. But other free things, you can go skating. There are a couple of Valentine's Day themed skates happening. One is at the Harbourfront Centre and the other one's at the Well. Back to you.
Thanks, Arda.
Well, on this eve of Valentine's Day, can we talk about money? I mean, TD has released the finding of their annual Love and Money survey. It's showing that Ontarians are adapting their love lives to today's economic challenges. And for more on this, we're joined live by Jeet Dillon, investment advisor at TD Wealth. So, Jeet, welcome. We have to start with this. 32% of Ontarians, they're now going on fewer dates. I need you to talk about that. I mean, are people just not dating, or are they just not going out for dates?
I think the latter is true. First of all, thank you for having me. It's an important trend that is happening now on the dating scene. So fewer couples are actually choosing to go on fewer dates, partly because of the economic challenges and the economic realities of rising costs. And the other trend is, people are meeting online. There's more dates. So there's a lot of people to be, it can get very expensive going on a lot of dates. So either they're choosing not to go on dates, or they're looking at other options that are either, no cost or lower cost. So we're seeing those types of trends.
Your survey showed that when it comes to financial compatibility, 22% put greater emphasis on finding a partner who's actually good with their money. It's like looks, money, very important. What do you think's behind this?
Well, I think, first of all, there's so much information that's available, through social media. And these conversations are happening earlier, where I think at some point financial responsibility, transparency may have been a nice to have. But what we're seeing through the survey is that it's becoming a top priority, and it's a need to have. And more couples want to make sure that they are aligned. They know their spending habits. They have, objectives and future plans, and they want to make sure that that journey on the financial front is going to be a smooth one. So that's, causing couples to be proactive and having more conversations to understand about each other's financial values, and if they're aligned, and if that journey is going to be smooth in their relationship.
Okay, so we're talking about moving beyond like the first or second date with these conversations, because what are you hearing when it comes to budgets?
Well, it is, first of all, just the reality of today is that costs have risen a lot. And we know nationally there's challenges for younger people, whether it comes to housing and whatnot. So the money talk is an important part of a relationship. And the reality is that, now both partners are working, they have aspirations for their career, and what that financial future looks like. So it's an important part of the relationship, because there is more at stake for both partners, and they want to make sure that those values are aligned, and there's not going to be hiccups, or when there's more commitment and a longer term relationship, it becomes really difficult if there is financial chaos or financial insecurity.
Okay, let's talk about the chaos. What kind of financial behavior is causing people to actually break up with someone?
Lying about finances in a relationship, that is the number one deal breaker. So, and if we think about it, relationships are based on trust. That, applies to so many facets of that relationship, and finances is one of the top things. So if a person is not being, forthcoming about money, or hiding money, or financial secrets, that actually is a deal breaker. People are not willing to put up with that anymore.
All right, Jeet Dillon, investment advisor at TD Wealth. Thanks a lot.
That sounds like good advice to me. It is 5:55 -1. Feels like -6. This is Live at 5.
Well, the Blue Jays have completed a trade on the eve of spring training. We're going to tell you who's going where just ahead.
The Blue Jays have completed a trade with the Astros that will see the club swap outfielders. Toronto is sending Joey Loperfido to Houston. That's in exchange for Jesus Sanchez. And Loperfido split last season between the Jays and the Buffalo Bisons. Now, he put up a .333 batting average and ran an .879 OPS in 41 major league games. Sanchez recorded 14 homers and 48 RBIs. That's across 134 games with the Marlins and Astros last year. He also had 13 stolen bases.
Right now it's 5:59 -1, feeling more like -6. This is Toronto's breaking news, CP24.
Thanks so much for watching. CTV News at 6 is next.